Hello, everyone, and welcome back to AuDHD And Then Some. I'm Ellie, and today I'm joined by Skye Bellarmine. Skye's story is one of resilience. She's experienced long-term narcissistic abuse, survived a life-changing car accident, and had to rebuild her life from the ground upwards. And today, rather than focusing on books or programs, I really want to get to know the real person behind the story. What happened, what helped, and what she learned along the way. Skye talks about growing up as a nomad, which she felt like she was wearing lots of different masks, and I'm sure as neurodivergent people, we can relate to that. Although many of our listeners are neurodivergent, today's conversation isn't just about neurodivergence, it's about trauma, trusting yourself again, and recognizing what unhealthy relationships are, which are so important for us neurodivergent people, particularly, and then finding a way forward when it feels impossible. Skye, you are amazing, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
That was long. You've achieved a lot.
There's been a lot going on in my life. You could say that.
Yeah.
I'll say I have a lot of irons in the fire, I guess.
You should do a movie.
Well, by the way, there's a movie being written. So,
As if by magic. So, Skye, I'm going to ask you for our audience. Tell us, who is Skye and what has happened?
Skye. Wow. Okay, that's a big question, Ellie.
No pressure.
Skye has evolved in time over life from California, but like I said, nomadic, moved around quite a bit with my family's jobs and all that. And really, the only state in the United States I've never been to is Alaska. So someday. Um, but I've just really evolved in my life to learn that you take life one day at a time. And one lesson that I've learned a number of times so far is what I call Skye's 90-10 rule. And life is 10% what happens to you, that what happens to you, and 90% what you do with it.
That's
And
great.
so
Yeah.
that's like just anything that's come up. When I was little in La Jolla, I wanted to be a ballerina so badly. I really did. But I was also a softball player. I was a pitcher. And so one day in ballet class, the teacher comes over to my mother. I guess I was about 7 at the time, and she said,
Skye, have you got water running, or is it your signal a bit ropey?
"Wait, I've got a air purifier on. Hang on.
Ah, that's what it is. Is it hot there too as well today?
Okay,
Yeah.
it's off. Is that better?
Thank you. That is
Okay,
perfect.
okay. Um, so she comes to my mom and says, "Does Skye do anything besides want to be a ballerina?" And
Yeah.
she said, "Well, she's a softball player."
Yeah.
And so maybe she should get back out on the softball field.
Oh, was ballerina not your thing?
It's okay. I became an all-star pitcher and all that kind of stuff. It was good, but it was just people. You learn who speaks into your life as you go along, and just growing up. And I remember going to the glider port a lot in La Jolla, watching the hang gliders like jump off the cliff and sail
Yeah.
over the Pacific and all that. And I was thinking,
Sounds
wow, they're taking
beautiful.
a leap. They're taking
Yeah.
a leap. That's so cool. I want to do that. I want to take a leap. I want to do stuff in life. And so then you go through life and you make achievements and all that, and then things happen. So that 10% thing, I got hit by a wrong way driver on the interstate,
Yeah.
and
It's
as an adult.
crazy.
And at that point, the doctor said she's not going to live,
Mm.
and she's going to be a vegetable if she ever wakes up
Did
from the
you have
coma.
children then, or was this before or after your
No,
children?
I had children at that point, and
Wow.
so they said she's not going to make it. And then when I did wake up from the coma, they said, "Well, you're never going to walk again. You're never going to use your arm again." Well, I'm like, okay, tell me something I can't do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm very faith filled. I'm very stubborn. I mean, I'm all that, the above. I'm a ball player. So
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, let's do this. So did learn what took 12 surgeries and 6 years of my life to recover from all that. Started writing, developed what I call the pyramid of perseverance, a 12-step process, starting with prayer, ending with everlasting life, and working through all these steps to achieve your goals.
Yeah.
And then really got into speaking and that kind of thing at that point. But while that was going on, I was married to a very narcissistic, domineering, controlling person.
Yeah.
And I didn't really recognize that at the time. But then as the years went by and the gaslighting and the rages and flying monkeys and all that stuff that goes
Was
on.
he always like that?
Yes. Do
Yeah,
you
but you
know
just,
all the red flags were there?
but
Because we
you,
met in college, all the red flags were there.
but they often are there. That's what I was going to ask you, Skye. You know, this is personal, but was there something traumatic that happened in childhood to make your self-worth low? Because I know for me, the reason I went through with the red flags is because my self-worth was so low. I thought, "Oh, I see the red flags, but I can fix him. You know, I don't deserve anything better than that. You know, he's a work in project." You know, but that's generally stems from my self-worth. Why did you put up with the red flags?
Because there was one evening that we were walking around campus at college, and he asked me to help him not be so domineering and controlling as his dad was.
Oh, so
And
he's got a
me as the
backstory.
empath, oh,
Yep,
the empath said, "Of course, honey,
yep.
I can help you."
I would have fallen for that. In fact, that would have made me like him even more because
I did, like, oh my God, he
I
needs
wanted to
me.
fix him, and he's wounded and he has a backstory, and yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
did it. Hook, line, and sinker right then.
100%.
Hook, line, and sinker. It's like,
Yep.
okay. Then the next 20 years,
Was hook, line, and sinker.
yeah, I try to see myself as achieving my goals a lot sooner than within 20 years. But then at that point, the pandemic was arising and he went out of town. And then, we were there that night and the children were saying, "Oh my God, Ma, you're like laid back. You're even
So
kind
he had
of
gone
funny."
away. There was COVID, and he went away with work, didn't he? And
No,
you were at home with the children, and the atmosphere changed.
he tried to invite us all to go on this driving trip to Colorado, and none of us wanted to go. It was during the pandemic. Oh my gosh, it was in 2020. And so he just went. He said, "Well, I've been working from the house for so long now. I just need to go." I was like, "Okay."
And was it
So
the first time he'd been away?
the first time he'd been away since the pandemic. I mean, it got to be where he was there all the time, like working from
Yeah,
home all the time. And I was a personal trainer at the time, and even the gyms were closed and all that. So there was a lot of time we were just there, and the children
yeah.
were online with school and all that. So he left, and that night's when they all saw a difference in me. It's like you're not stressed. What's going on? I thought, oh
So
my God.
did they not notice that before when he had gone away? Because surely he wasn't at home like all the time. You know, other points in life when he went away was you less stressed then?
Yes, but he really didn't travel a lot. He
Yeah,
just didn't have a lot of work travel. So anytime we did go away was more like family vacations, that kind of thing. And you can read about them in the book. They're in there. The
yeah.
traveling, yeah.
But
There's that
just
control.
tell us what
Even
is
not on
what's
home
your
base,
but
there
what
was
yeah.
control. Yeah.
And
So
the kids have got to a certain age now, so they can start seeing it as well. So the stars aligned, and Corona happened, and
mhm.
and it worked for you. It
Right.
worked in your
Yeah.
favor.
Well, yeah, because I was like, then they told me everything he was saying and all the lies and all that, and so I did file for divorce, and
Yeah,
then I was stuck in the marital house for about 6 months or so till I could get out and find another place to live and all that. And so, um, I just questioned one day, 2 weeks after I filed, I said, you haven't yelled at me in 2 whole weeks. And he
yeah.
said, "Well, I finally learned that yelling at you is not the way to handle you."
Oh, handle you.
Uh-huh, like I need a handler.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So,
Yeah, ridiculous. And that's why we're divorcing.
yeah. And so, and so then it took 21 months to divorce him. He fought me the whole way.
Yeah.
And
Was you
you're
ever
already beaten
Did you?
down so badly by then, emotionally and mentally and spiritually and physically and all.
Yeah,
you're just a shell of
drained.
a person
You're a
by
broken shell of a person. You're drained.
then. And then I had to fight through a divorce and had an awesome attorney and team and all that, and built what I call building your tribe. Had my therapist and my sister and my best friend and my attorney and all that, and we just worked our way through it. Worked our way
Had
through
you
it.
lost them people when you were with him? Because surely did they not point out to you, look, this man's a bit of a dickhead, or could nobody point it out to you?
Nobody did, but after I filed and after I divorced him, nobody was surprised.
Yeah.
Like I was talking to my orthopedic surgeon who did like 4 of my 12 surgeries, and I said, yeah, I'm divorcing him and all that. And you know what he said? He said, well, we knew he was controlling, but we thought you were handling it. That's what everybody thought.
Wow.
Guys, she's
Yeah.
handling it. She's fine.
Yeah.
And but you read those scenes in Breaking Solace, and you'll see what I was trying to handle.
People don't realize what goes on behind closed doors.
No, they don't. They don't. And people would see the signs and kind of question things every now and then, but I went along with it like I was kind of in a normal marriage because I didn't realize that it was as abnormal as it was. But well,
Yeah.
let me back up. Narcissistic personality disorder is more common than people realize.
Yeah.
It really is, and the abusive relationships and the toxicity and all that. Because I've yet to meet anybody who can't relate at least on some level.
100%,
Yeah,
which is so sad, but yes, 100%. Or maybe it's just the people I attract that can relate to it. I don't know. Maybe there
yeah,
are people out there that haven't been touched by narcissists. I hope
right.
there is.
I hope so too, Ellie. I hope so too, because it's a difficult journey. It's quite the step by step progress. And when I talk to people about achieving their goals and overcoming challenges and all that, and coaching clients, I learned this term, and it's from really project management and
Yeah.
IT. Instead of looking at the overall big picture milestones, because that's big, a mile and a stone,
Yeah.
look at it as an inch pebble.
Yeah.
So, like, if you can get this part of your task list done today, or this step towards your goal, let's just focus on that.
Yeah.
Don't
Make a
worry
start.
about everything else that didn't get done. Just because especially if you're going through a divorce or some type of exit from a toxic relationship, whether it be work related or familial or relational, what have you, you're focused on that.
Yeah.
And and after the divorce was done, when my attorney called and said, "Hey, it's done," then my friends were going, "Okay, well, what are you going to do now?" I had work and everything, but I mean,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
what are you going to wake up thinking about and go to bed thinking about now if you're not focused on that anymore?
Yeah,
I was
do you
like,
know
I
what? I think a
know,
lot of people experience that because when that's over, then what? Then what does Sky become? Because Sky has for so long has been this person under this stress and then Sky has to find herself again.
right? And so people say, "Well, what do you like to do?" And I was like, "I don't know."
I don't know because I
Doing,
don't know who I am without him.
I know because I had to do whatever he liked to do, and I had to
Yeah,
give up all my hobbies, all my pastimes, and all that. And so then figuring that out again, I was like, "Well, I used to play golf. That's right. He made me give that up. So,
yeah.
okay, let's start doing that again." And my fiance is the nephew of a golf pro.
Oh, how handy.
I know, I know. So yeah, it was so funny. One of our first dates, we met over. Do you know if you have Top Golf in the
No,
UK?
I don't think we do, but I don't know much about golf, so
It's a place where you can go. It's a restaurant, a bar, a golf,
oh no,
and
we don't have that. We
you hit
haven't
golf
got one of
balls.
them.
Yeah. So I'm thinking,
Okay.
okay, I've been a golfer for a long time. I haven't played in a while, but I've got this guy. And so I get there. He is amazing. He hit so much further than I did. So and even you log in your name and then you get points according to who's logged in. I even accidentally had some of his points. He still beat me, and I'm like, okay,
So you thought you were good.
yeah, yeah. And I said, okay. Who are you? He said, well, my uncle's a golf pro. And I went, okay. So we joined the club. he has helped my golf game so much. There was one time I was in a sand trap, and I five strokes in, I was whacking at that ball. He said, "Honey, honey, just here, step back. Let me." And he pops it right up onto the green, like right there. So
And
I
now,
do have a
can
better.
you roll with him now? Are you on par nearly now with him?
I'm not as. I beat him a hole every now and then.
Oh,
Every
this
now
is
and
good.
then,
This is progress.
it's progress, yes,
Yeah.
and he's helped my game, but he's still, if he sees me in a bad spot, he'll say, "Hey, hey, come on, let me just handle that for you." I was like, "Okay." So I guess
Yeah.
my score is never totally my score when we finish, but anyway, so we have a good time,
It's
and
a work in progress. And you never, I guess, you never thought that you would be here. Look how happy you are. And, going and playing golf with this good looking guy and
right.
stuff. And you thought you was going to be miserable forever.
Well, yeah, and it's interesting because I run into neighbors from our old neighborhood every now and then, like at Trader Joe's or wherever, and they tell me what my ex was saying about me, like after I moved out, and
Yeah.
he was he'd say, "Oh, nobody's ever going to want Skye because nobody's ever."
Yeah. Poor
And I'm
him.
like, "Oh wow, really?"
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Because they have to make people think that. Because then otherwise they'll have to think, oh, what was wrong with him? That he was doing something. So they have to turn it around on you. And that's what they do the whole time. That's why when you're with a narcissist, you feel like you're going insane. If
right.
somebody told me, like, oh, you're wearing pink today, I would have been like, yeah, yeah, I am. Because I. And I was wearing black because I just would have believed anything.
Right.
It made me mentally ill.
It does. It does. And it makes you doubt every decision. You feel like you have to explain everything,
Yeah,
justify everything,
yeah,
and apologize because you're the blame. If he lost his keys, it was my fault. If he had a
yeah.
bad day at work, it was my fault. And so I had to get out of
That habit.
that habit of saying, "Oh, I'm sorry." But there's nothing to be sorry for. You didn't do anything. Well, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but for normal people, you didn't do anything. For him, it's the end of the world. I think when people break up with narcissists, was you not more susceptible to going back with another narcissist, or did you build yourself up so that that wouldn't happen again?
No, I dated a few,
Oh,
just short term, like one, like a month or a couple of days, whatever. And
but you were
yeah,
strong
you
enough to
just
end
keep
it straight
attracting
there.
that. You keep
Yeah,
attracting that. And so
yeah, me
I was
too.
talking to my daughter the other day and about some of the ones I attracted after the divorce and all that. But she said, yeah, I mean, you just that empathy, that wanting to help people kind of
You're a
thing. So
fixer. I'm a fixer. You're still being a fixer. Let's face it, with your work, with your coaching, you're a
yeah,
fixer, but you're a fixer not to your own detriment now.
right, right. And
Healthy fixing.
it's been amazing just with well, like I said, I'm engaged now. I have an awesome fiance. He's the sweetest guy ever. And
And
so
he's good looking.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy, and he's never yelled at me. And just for example, so we were dating, and he would come over and we'd grill steaks or whatever. And one of the gas grill, like that pan, it kind of started leaking a little bit. And so he said, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I should have." I said, "Well, it's at my house. I should have taken care of it." So we were like blaming ourselves.
Yeah.
That didn't go on for long, Ellie. So he grabs paper towels and the Dawn, and I grabbed the 409 and a trash bag. And within 20 minutes, totally cleaned up, no
Together.
hard words, and we were grilling.
And
And that's
together.
together. And that's normal.
No
What's
atmosphere,
normal.
no nothing.
That's a normal. Or we're traveling and the rental car place is all messed up and a mess and all that. And he doesn't get upset. He doesn't cause a scene. Like my
Yeah.
ex. Yeah, and I said, I thanked him. I said, "You didn't cause a scene, did you?" He said, "Well, why would I?"
Yeah.
I said,
It's
"You have
true.
no idea."
You get so used to accepting the bare minimum when someone treats you normally, just normally, you're like, oh, thank you. Like, because you've accepted the bare minimum from someone for so long.
Right, right. And just like I said, you don't have to explain yourself. You don't have to justify because like I needed to reschedule. I mean, like if I needed to reschedule today
Yeah.
with you, I would have to stop myself from saying, well, it's because this. I
Yeah,
was
I would explain to you profusely, apologize 55 times, feel bad about it until 4:32 a.m. You know, I would have woke up
stop
thinking
myself.
about it. Yeah,
I know I have to stop myself on text messages sometimes, like I need to rearrange this or sorry or whatever, and then I'll say, and again I have to back up. No, I don't
yeah.
need to again. I
You've
apologize. That's the
apologized
old me.
once, and
That's the old
that's
me.
okay. Yeah, I
And
understand that
everybody's
completely.
fine if you need to reschedule or change something or whatever. There's no apology. Like I
Yeah.
have a wedding planner, and I was like, I'm sorry, I just don't think that's going to work. She said, don't, you hired me.
It's
Don't
your
apologize.
wedding. Yeah, it's your wedding. Like the old me would have like she would have picked out a rubbish dress, yeah, and I would have been like, yeah, okay, I'll wear it if you like it because I don't want to make you feel bad. Like such people pleasing. That's what I was. I was a people pleaser.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot
my
of my listeners, they struggle with people pleasing and masking and burnout and self-doubt and
right.
all of these awful things because they're, when I'm neurodivergent, a lot of my listeners are as well. um do you think that, when we're struggling with people pleasing, it makes us more vulnerable to unhealthy relationships?
Absolutely, 100%. It does. It does because you're like you were saying, you always want to be in that help mode,
Yeah,
and then you get the the codependency going on,
yeah,
and where, oh my gosh, they need me. I need to be needed. As an empath, I need to be needed. I
yeah,
need to
that's
help
true.
somebody, and they need my help. Oh my gosh, that's a win-win, right? And no, it's not.
Do you do you know what? When I finally, I went through a lot of narcissistic relationships. I went through years and years, and it's only recently that I found myself, and I read that book, Women Who Love Too Much, and I read it a lot of times.
Yeah,
But the last time I read it, it really clicks, and I thought, you know what? Maybe all this time I'm trying to fix someone else because I don't want to fix myself. Or I don't know, there was something deeper to it. I don't know how have you gone on to not attract people that you need to fix now? How have you changed that habit?
my therapist taught me about the difference between empathy and compassion.
Yeah,
Okay, so the way she phrases it is look at this. The way she phrases it was, when you're empathetic, somebody comes to you with a problem and they need to talk with you and they need your input and so you jump into their hula hoop
yeah,
and you're right there in their shoes,
yeah,
and
with
you're like,
them.
oh, you're feeling everything, you're
Yeah,
internalizing everything.
that's empathy, isn't it?
Empathy, you're right there with them, you're
That,
walking
yeah,
hand in hand, step by step, we'll get through this. But you've internalized all of their trauma, all of their troubles, all of their struggles into your own being.
yeah.
And
So
that's
I train therapy, and that's what we learn. That was a really important part for me because I can't separate myself from the person. It's
right.
really hard. So yeah, carry on.
Yeah, so then there's compassion. So compassion is, yes, you're there, yes, you're listening, yes, you're willing to talk through things with them, but you're staying in your own hula hoop. You're
Yeah. Stay the
not
fuck in your own hula hoop,
staying
please,
in your
God.
own hula
Yeah,
hoop. You're not internalizing everything.
yeah,
And so I remember talking with the chaplain at the hospital where I learned to walk again, and they wanted me to come to some spiritual life meetings as a former patient at the orthopedic hospital and just give some words of encouragement and all that.
yeah,
And I remember talking with her because I was starting to coach and work with clients through their traumas and that kind of thing. And I remember talking with her and saying, how do you walk into this orthopedic hospital every day and hear about, I mean, there's stroke victims and all these different
yeah.
things going on, and
How do you not
people,
take it home with you?
how do you not take it home with you? Exactly, Ellie. That's faster. And
Yeah,
she said, you just pray as you're walking out the door. Just pray as
yeah,
you're saying, and I'm always amazed at her because she always seems so put together and strong and all that. And I thought, if I had that environment every single day back
yeah,
then, especially, I would have been in tears all the time. Like,
yeah.
No, I would have been just like
But
over.
she's still a good person. So what's the well, I don't see that's what I used to separate. I couldn't separate. If you're a good person, I would think you automatically take on everyone's problems because it's a natural thing. You're a
Mhm.
good person and you get in the hula hoop with them.
Right.
Can that's just what you do when you're a good person. That's how I used to think.
Uh,
And that's why I attract narcissists.
right.
Can you still be a good person and stay out of the hula hoop?
Yes, you can,
Yeah.
because it all comes down to the listening,
Boundaries.
boundaries and listening. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, I put up a post on Facebook and LinkedIn the other day about the art of listening. And like, what's the first thing I do if somebody says, "Hey, will you help me? Can you help me work through this relationship or whatever we're working on?" And the first thing I do is listen, because especially if they're in a narcissistic relationship, nobody's listening to them anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, probably 2 or 3 or 4 times a week, my ex would say, "Skye, would you just stop talking? You're making my head hurt."
Yeah, me too. Yeah,
Yeah.
not me too. You're making my head hurt, but yes, never. But I've been told that so many times.
Yeah. And you're
And now,
not
do you know what I realized the other day is I talk really fast. Even on my podcast, I talk really fast. And do you know why I talk really fast? Because I think I don't want to drive them crazy. I don't want to do their heads in. No one's going to want to listen to me for so long. So I got to talk
kidding.
fast and get my message across really, really quickly because somebody's made me feel like for so long. So I completely understand where you're coming from.
Well, Ellie, I love the way you talk. And I you have a beautiful voice, beautiful voice.
Thank you.
Well, and then they'd say very cutting remark, like gaslighting stuff, and just
Yeah.
cut you
Yeah.
down piece by piece by piece. And then you're upset or you're crying, whatever. It's like, oh my gosh, I was just joking. You're just too sensitive. You're just too emotional.
Yeah.
And no, I'm not. You just cut me down.
Yeah, and then my one used to bring the kids into it. Look, mummy, she's crying
Yeah,
again.
yeah,
Isn't she stupid?
yeah.
Like,
Yes, he
goes- and you feel so like hard done by.
right. Well, he convinced all the children that I was brain damaged from that car wreck that I was in. So
Oh my god! Oh, that fell right into his hands. So mine convinced my children that I was crazy, and because felt like I was going crazy, yes, I appeared to be crazy. So my children at the time believed it. And
right.
but you had the perfect scenario, so he that fell into
he
his hands.
he cashed in on that. Yeah.
Wow, what a
So
prick.
that's what really came out when he went out of town that in 2020 was they all told me what he'd been saying about me, and I was like, really? You believed him on
Wow.
that? And I'm not going to talk about all my achievements and all that, but I'm going, no, I'm fine. And they're like, we know,
Yeah.
Mom, we know you're fine.
But he's been doing a number on them as well, let's
They
face it.
brainwash everybody around you.
Exactly. That they automatically accidentally become like into the trap of flying monkeys
Right.
because they've just it's not their fault. They've been brought up to be brainwashed by
Yeah.
him. So it's so hard for them.
Right. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And so they've all come around now. They see, yeah, that was not right. And anyway, but it's been just a process, but just, getting back to like the justifying, explaining, apologizing, all
Yeah.
that you go through with every decision you make. And I had a friend of mine telling me about a friend of hers who was in a narcissistic relationship, and they were down at the beach and they're about to go to a bonfire. And so they're walking along this sidewalk, and suddenly the sidewalk has a little like rock garden and flowers in the middle of it. And so she said, okay, do I go to the right or to the left of that? When the sidewalk came back together and led to the beach and the bonfire, like
Yeah.
she could not decide
Yeah.
whether to go left or right. And I'm
I
like,
get that.
oh, you get to that point. Well, like
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever saw the movie Gaslight. It's
No,
a
I maybe have seen it. My memory is fucked from gaslighting. If
well,
I'm
yeah,
gonna be,
I'm with you,
ironically, my
sister.
memory's fucked from gaslighting. So I've seen a million movies, but I probably forgot it. But start talking and it will
Yeah.
click into place.
Well, in 1944, there's a movie called Gaslight, which is where the term came from. And
Was it a black? It was a black and white white movie,
Black
wasn't
and
it?
white. Yes,
Yes,
black and
yes,
white.
yes.
Ingrid Bergman. So yeah,
Ingrid Bergman, yep.
so the narcissist had everybody in the household feeling like Ingrid Bergman, the character Ingrid Bergman played, was crazy and all
Yeah,
that. So there was one day, I'll never forget this scene. One day where she's all dressed up and she opens the front door, and one of one of the house staff comes up to her and says, "Oh, my dear, where are you going, ma'am?" "Oh, I'm going to go for a walk." And the lady said, "Oh, no, 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 you might get lost." And Ingrid's character said, "Yeah, you're right." And she went back inside.
yeah.
And I mean, it gets to that
Where
point.
you just believe it about yourself.
You get to where you believe what others are telling you about
Yeah,
yourself,
yeah,
even though
it's
you
true.
know there's that spirit in you
Somewhere, but it gets
somewhere that's
so
been,
buried deep down.
yes. And that was the biggest struggle, I will tell you, after the divorce, was finding that spirit again, Ellie.
Yeah,
Like, I mean, I've been like in the grocery store or out, whatever, and people like my real estate agent, where we sold the marital house, she will walk, "Oh my God, Skye, like, well, you're smiling." I said, "Yeah, it's real now." And they go,
yeah.
"But you're like glowing." I said, "I'm happy."
Yeah, because before you were masking it, you were smiling, but you weren't smiling with your soul.
It wasn't real.
Yeah.
I was just, yeah, I was just playing along.
What
So,
do you think you would tell listeners if they're sitting here and they're thinking, because I always knew I was in a bad relationship, but I just blamed myself or thought no one would believe me because it's always my fault and
mhm.
he always looks like the good guy. If someone's sitting there listening to this now, what can you say to them? Is there something that you feel, sometimes you just have to find the right time and your stars align to get out. So, I could have got out at any time. It's easy to leave, but it's so much easier said than done. It took me so long to leave. But what advice can you give?
First of all, I would think about your reasons for staying. And often I found, especially with women, it's fear and finances. And
Yeah,
just figuring out, learn about your financial situation so that you can ask the right questions and figure out what you need to go. Build your tribe, just a handful. If there's
yeah,
just a therapist, an attorney, a sister, a friend, just somebody who can walk with you. So, like at 3 a.m., you're like, "Oh my God." And my message used to be, "Are you busy?"
yeah, yeah.
And my
Mine
friend would
too.
say, "She called me right away." I said,
Yeah,
"Okay, what's up?" So, building that tribe. And this, first and foremost, you are not to blame. You are
yeah.
not to blame for this relationship. You are enough, even though they've told you so many times you're not.
Because you believe it now, so of course you think you're to blame. Of course, there
Mhm.
is this little voice in there somewhere that says, "No, I know it's not me," but you've been brainwashed.
Right, right. And they make you think it's all your fault. And
Yeah,
so those are the main things, that you're not to blame. You are enough, and start just finding a few people in your life that can walk through this with you, because
because people
get
want
out,
to walk through it with you.
you can get out, and there is life after a relationship with a narcissist.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think I think you are so like you're so underconfident or beat down that you think that, oh, no one wants to be there for me, no one's got time to listen to this shit again. But
right.
people will help, people are there for you, people want to be around and want to help you, and it's you can always do it.
Right. You just need to reach out. And I know that's hard because you've been so crushed down for so
Yeah,
long.
yeah,
And you do fear that, well, they're never going to believe me.
yeah,
And I've had so many people since I wrote the Breaking Solace and Escaping Solace are the first two books in the trilogy, and the third book, Without Solace, comes out in October.
yeah.
So many people have read those, and friends have called me and like, "Whoa, we didn't know you were going through all of that."
Would you recommend the books to someone that is in that situation right now?
I would truly recommend the books, because even on launch day,
Yeah,
these trilogy novels went into 46 categories of self help books in psychology, domestic violence, abusive relationships in 4 nations.
Wow.
Like
So
they
it's
went
got,
number
there's
one
something in
international
it.
bestseller.
Something in it is helping people.
Well, and there's a lot of journaling. I call it Dear Josie. It's a red journal that Tally, the main character, writes in
Yeah.
to get her thoughts out. And that's really kind of how the book series started. I just started writing during the divorce because I had to get
Yeah.
those thoughts out and I had to get those emotions out. And so that's there. And then there's Shannon is her therapist, and there's some really deep dives into therapy in some of those scenes as well. And Shannon even brings up, well, what about the red flags? Were they all there? And
Yeah.
I remember when I was writing that chapter, yes, they were all there. Ellie, they were all there. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
book called Stop Walking Eggshells, and you take this quiz in the beginning. Are you in the relationship with a narcissistic person? He fit all 30 boxes.
I think the thing that I always thought was my fault is, when I hear a lot of people say they've been with narcissists, they say, "Oh, I really didn't know." But the thing is, I feel ashamed, or I don't feel ashamed anymore. But I used to feel like I couldn't relate because I did know he was a narcissist and I did see the red flags. He showed me them from the beginning.
Mhm.
Where a lot of narcissists or a lot of people hide the red flags. They were there. He was
Yeah.
showing me and I was like, "Oh yes, come here with your red flags. I will help you."
Yes.
I
Yes.
will help you hold the red flags.
Right.
Your arms must be hurting right now. you know?
Right. Well, he wanted me to help him not become controlling like his parents. And I
Yeah.
said, well, absolutely. Me as the intelligent empath, I'm right here with you. Yeah.
That's just
Yeah.
what you want to. That's like this is like gold to you. Like, oh, he wants to
Right.
work on himself, and
Right.
I'm gonna help him, and he's a poor little soul.
Yes. Yes. And that's
Yeah,
what he wants you to believe. And I fell for it hook, line, and sinker. So, you know,
yeah.
um, it beautiful children and all that, everything has been amazing, but just figuring out that piece of that relationship, getting away from the narcissist is the key. And
But
that
it's brought you to where you are now. So I always think, oh my God, my life would be so different. I would be 20 years ahead of where I am now because I lost out so much. But then I think, you know what? God brought me, I'm a big believer in God. God
me
brought
too.
me to this because, if not for this, I wouldn't have my children. I wouldn't be where I was now. Yes, so much bullshit's happened, but God wrote it like this because there is a bigger plan, and I have faith in the bigger plan. And I
Yes.
think that's what I
Yes.
had to accept. There's a lot of times when I thought, oh, fuck, I'm so angry at myself for staying there. But if I didn't stay there, I wouldn't have the children that I have now, and I wouldn't be where I am now. Yes, a lot of emotional shit has happened. The kids, have seen a lot that they
Mhm.
shouldn't see,
Right.
but it is what it is, and God has made this happen for a reason. And I think that's the faith that has to carry me through. Otherwise my brain is fucked. Like, that's what
Well,
I've got.
I agree, and I believe that even before we're born, God knows what our life's going to look like, and He
100%, it's written,
knew
it's
that I would
written. That's how
fall
I
for.
believe.
Yeah, he knew that I would fall for my ex, and he knew that I would be in the car wreck, and he knew that I'd be having this conversation with you right now.
Yeah,
Like,
100%. I believe that the all-knowing, all-seeing God
yeah,
is. Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. And it felt like this. I called them my garage meltdowns during the divorce. I get in from work, I close the door on the rental house, and I just fall apart right then. And it would
Yeah.
feel like God saying, hey, 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 I haven't brought you this far to leave you now. Come on,
Yeah.
come on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's keep fighting this. And I felt very much carried along the way. And, one morning I woke up at a deposition that day, and it was like, I said, there's something, and I had some family there. And I said, there's a scripture, it's something that surpasses all understanding. And
Yeah.
they said, it's peace.
Yeah.
It's peace. So I walk into that deposition meeting that day for the divorce, and my attorney's going, whoa, Skye, what are you so on fire for? You're smiling. I said, oh, this is going to be a good day.
Yeah.
And
You've been touched by an angel.
I said, I'm a baseball fan, and I said, hey, I want walk up music. I want it to be RESPECT. My attorney's like, oh, Skye, really?
She's gone crazy.
But it's been a ride. It's been a journey. It still is a journey. Continues. I'm excited for the next steps. I've been
What is the
invited.
next steps for you? What's the next steps for you,
Well,
Skye? And
then
what does peace look like for you now? And where are you going? Where's Skye going now?
Skye has been invited to. I did a casting call for a new TV show called America's Authors, and
Yeah.
so we're going to be filming that in August. And I'm in TEDx training right now, and I keep meeting people that want to help me get this message out. You
Yeah,
know,
it's important. It's so important. You have to be like you were talking to us once upon a time. We needed to hear what you've got to say.
yeah, it's amazing because that's where I'm feeling God's calling me to share this message of hope and healing and recovery from abuse, because it's there. We
Yeah,
can do this. We can do this, but people need to know that's available for them, that there
yeah,
is hope, because there are so many, many, many traumatized people in narcissistic relationships right now. And
that's true.
just knowing that you can get out, you can get on the other side, you can rebuild your life, and you can be happy again.
Y-
Yeah,
I never believed I would be here right now. I never believed that I would find. You know what? I go to sleep and I have no weight. I don't have an albatross around my neck. I
right,
have like, I've never been able to laugh like and be free in my
right,
whole life. And I never thought I would be here. And I just appreciate. I think that's why God brought me through this. And,
right.
I've seen the worst of life. And now I look at a rose like in the garden and I'll cry and I'll be like, oh, it's so beautiful. And
No,
I wouldn't have appreciated that if I didn't see the shit. So I
right.
think I God taught me lessons from this, and I think
Yeah.
that there is a reason that I've gone through this.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I believe that. I believe that for myself as well. And so you and I are here to help others realize that
Shine the light.
yeah, shine the light. Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
funny. That's one of the when I sign books, that's one of the things I say is
No way. I
keep
swear to
shining.
God. I'm a big believer in God, and I swear to God I never knew that. So,
Yeah,
that's a sign in itself.
yeah, just keep shining your light. And I there's a quote like to when you light a when one candle lights another candle, the candle is doing the lighting doesn't lose its glow.
That's true. You know what?
And
That's
and
true.
when you're helping somebody else learn and shine their light, your light doesn't get any dimmer. If anything, it gets brighter.
But Sky, guess what?
What?
You're not getting in their hula hoop. You're not going to get in
Ew.
the hula hoop. This is, you know
Get
what? I've
my
never
own
heard that
clue.
before, and I love it now. This is going to stick with me forever. I'm going to take this with me to my coaching and my therapy and everything. And I'm going to say, Sky taught me, don't get in the hula hoop, Ellie. Don't do it. Where can we find you, Sky, on our platforms? Where can we find you?
I am on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, TikTok.
Have
I'm
you got your own
TikTok.
website? What if
And
we want to?
my website
Yeah,
is www.skyeBellarmine.com, skybellarmine.com. And my books are on Amazon, and I'm just excited to be out there. All my speaking programs are on my website as well, and
yeah,
also on terrificspeakers.com. And
that's
so,
amazing.
yeah, just excited to get out
So
there.
I'm gonna put all your links when I
Okay.
publish this. I'm gonna put all your links because I think that there's gonna be a lot of people listening that need a little talking to from you.
Oh,
I think it's gonna really make a difference, and I hope today's episode has reminded our listeners that healing doesn't actually happen all at once. And sometimes recovery is simply about taking a tiny, tiny step forward. And that's what you've been doing. And you've got there. And, it's a journey. You're probably still learning things along the way,
yes.
but look at you shining your light.
Well, right back at you, Ellie. You're shining light with this podcast, and your speaking and coaching and everything that you're doing as well. I mean, God has called us to be where we are right here, right now.
I think so. I think so. I think, you know what? I'm just so glad I have faith because if
Mhm.
I didn't, Phew,
Yeah.
I don't know what I would have been doing
Oh
because
yeah.
it would have been a very, very different story. But I've kept faith all the way through, and
Yeah.
that's I'm so blessed to have that.
Right. Right.
But
Yeah.
honestly, thank you, Sky.
Well,
Thank you so, so much.
well,
Um,
thank you.
it's been amazing, and I'm gonna link to all of your platforms, and I'm gonna yeah, please keep in touch. I'm excited to see the film.
Well, I am too.
Am I gonna have to wait a long time?
I don't think so. So the screenwriter, it will be finished this I think September with the
Yeah.
play, and then we'll be pitching it to studios after that, and in God's timing it will come out, but everybody is saying that he's about to blow the doors off of all this. So
Wow.
I'm thinking the timing's probably sooner than we realize.
Amazing. And it'll be just in God's timing. It will be when it's right.
Right, right. Absolutely.
Amazing. Thank you so, so much, Sky.
Thank you, Allie. This has been great.
Thank you.
All
Thank you.
right.
Bye.
Bye bye.